Welcome back. It's been a minute since I had a video on here talking about anything, but through 2023, got crazy busy. The year got away from me. I was editing every spare moment away, but now we're wrapped up and I have a lot of things to talk about now. Starting with today, this little piece of gear, the Instamic Pro Plus. We're regularly putting microphones on microphones. Sometimes we'll get like a little bit of, not pushback, but a little bit of raised eyebrows from like maybe the MCs when we're talking about it or whatever. Sometimes the officiants, it just kind of adds a little bit of bulk to the mic. So I'm always looking for a way to like downsize that and kind of make our footprint a little bit smaller and like maybe less distracting for those involved. I hadn't really looked into the Instamic too far because I wasn't super sure what the quality was like. I hadn't heard much about it. That was until I heard about the release of the Instamic Pro Plus, which is 32-bit float. So obviously my interest was piqued and I decided to pick one up. In the past, we've been using these little Sony recorders like I have right here. They sound good, they sound great, they do the job, and honestly I use them as a main source of audio when we sleeve the mic and I haven't had any issues with them. However, they can be a little bit bulky when strapped to the microphone. So this is kind of what it looks like when it's all strapped up. Might not look too bad. Sometimes microphones can get pretty thick. This is just a dummy microphone. It's not a real one. It's from my daughter's toy box. I mean, it's kind of big, it's kind of bulky, and some people raise their eyebrows to it, as well as depending on where the switch is on the microphone, sometimes we have to slide it really far so you can access it, or really far down, as like where this one is kind of centered on here. We have to slide it down and people hold it here so it's kind of far away from the voice, or sometimes they hold here. A lot of the times, like we'll notice too, as it gets moved around, it kind of shuffles down. So again, this is kind of the industry standard from what we've seen and what we've been told and what a lot of people we know use, and it does the trick quite well. But again, if we can find a way to make it easier for everybody and even better quality, then I'm here for it. So this is a mic sleeve rolled in half. So we actually roll it in half just to free up some space and maybe make it easier to access the switches and stuff. With this Instamic, it's this big, so we can actually fold it in half again and make the footprint even smaller on the microphone. So this is it in comparison. It's a lot smaller. You can get your whole hand on there. You can hold it quite comfortably how most people hold the microphone, and we can get it up really nice up and tight to where people are speaking. We've also, it comes with this little doohickey, this little switch thing here that can clip in like this. It's a little magnet. So if you're in a pinch, you can drop it on like this. You can have it on someone's shirt. We've put it on the inside of a sweater before as just like an extra backup, and the subject was walking around talking. So I was expecting to hear some rustling and rubbing, but I figured, hey, it was a good backup. We had lav mics and stuff as well, but I just thought I'd try it out, and the audio turned out perfect. I heard randomly no rustling, which kind of like blew my mind. I find like sometimes officiants don't have the easiest clothing to put a lav mic on. Sometimes there's no pockets, maybe they're wearing a dress. This guy right here, I've clipped onto the front of their books, front of their binders before. I have a couple shots of it, and it turned out amazing. And because they're holding their book out like that, between the couple, picks up all three people. And again, that 32-bit float is such a good, solid, like, not only a backup, but just like a good track to use, and super convenient as well. It's, I'd say, probably the best thing for those scenarios in my opinion. So very last but not least feature that I love about this little microphone is the app control and the ability to monitor it via Bluetooth. It's such like an easy peace of mind. I'll throw it on the microphone, it's kind of far away, and I just turn on the app and I can tell if it's recording. I can see what the audio levels are. You can even adjust the audio levels, your gain, etc. from the app, which is freaking amazing. So if you're noticing somebody speaking a little bit lower, you can turn it up. Again, you don't have to because of the 32-bit float info, but it always helps save some time later on. I've seen a lot on the forums and the wedding pages about people asking what gear to invest in. Everybody always says audio gear, like if you're between things, if you don't have it yet. If you're looking for something as like a backup or even a main source of audio, which I use it for sleeving the microphone, this I think is the best option in my opinion. We've used it for this entire year and we have had zero issues, zero technical issues, zero anything weird or funky that we've had to work out. And I'm surprised that more people aren't using it yet because of how awesome it is. But let me know your thoughts on it. If you guys have anything similar you use, or if you use it and what your experience is. I'm super interested to see who else is using it. Yeah, let me know any questions you have in the comments that I didn't answer, anything that you have about this little piece of gear, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.